Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I partnered up with Revel to show you guys some dip nails using their Bear With Me kit. And I absolutely love this kit because you actually get to pick what dip shades you want. So you go on their website and under the Bear With Me kit, it gives you all of these color options and you get to pick 4. And then with that, you also get your base coat, activator, and top coat. And as you can see, they are all neutrals, which you guys know I can't get enough of. So deciding what to use was actually so difficult. I ended up picking 5 different colors for this video. So yeah, let's just get right into the tutorial. So first up, you need to start with some nail prep, pushing back your cuticles, filing and shaping your nails, and then removing the shine. And when you do this, you want to make sure you're being gentle, don't apply any pressure, and really focus on the sides of your nail and around the cuticle area because that's where your nails will tend to lift. And here I'm using a 180 grit nail file. Once you've done this to all of your nails, this is what they should look like. And after that, I like to take a makeup sponge and rubbing alcohol and just wipe off that nail desk and remove any oils from my nail plate. Next, you're going to need your pro base, which is step 1, and then whatever dip color that you're using. So lately I've been using the pouring method where I'm actually pouring the powder onto my nail instead of dipping it, just because I feel like it makes it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my dip powder into the lid just so I have that ready before I apply my pro base. And when you're applying your pro base, you want to make sure you're working in thin coats. Don't get any on your skin, and if you do, make sure you wipe that off before you go to pour your powder on. And you do want to take your time with this because the neater you apply your pro base, the better you'll be later when it comes to like filing and shaping and everything. So you're going to do that, and then right away you want to pour your powder on because even though you do want to take your time, you also want to work quickly so that your base isn't drying. So every time I do dip nails, I only work on one nail at a time to avoid that. And as you can see, I'm pouring a ton on, but I just wanted to make sure I covered my nail completely. And then I'll also turn my nails to the side just to make sure I'm not missing any spaces. Okay, so after each time you dip or pour on your dip powder, you're just going to flip your finger over and tap off that excess and then use a brush to remove any loose powder that's still on your nail. And this is going to help so much because 1, it's going to help keep your coats thin, and then also when you go in for your second coat, you're not going to be just kind of smearing around the powder with the pro base because I've done that before and it just ends up being really messy. So you want to make sure you're getting off that excess powder and then doing your second coat. And for each coat, you're going to follow the same steps. So I ended up doing 2 coats on all of my nails except for my pointer finger. It was a lighter color, so I ended up doing 3. And as you can see, this process can get messy. I just completely missed my nail when I first started pouring, which is why I always work over a paper towel. That way I could just take whatever powder falls and scoop it back into the jar. But this step goes by so quickly, especially as you get the hang of it, you'll just get faster. So when it comes to dip powder, there are a few things that change depending on what color you're using, how long your nails are, and if you're using tips. One of those things is how you apply your pro base. So if you are working on longer nails or you apply the tip to your nail, then you want to start the first coat by applying the pro base on only 3/4 of the nail, and then the second coat will go closer down to the cuticle, and then your final coat will go all the way down your nail. And basically what this is going to do is help build strength in the apex of your nail to support that longer nail length. Another thing that sometimes I do and other times I don't is dip my nails in clear powder. So most of the time, once you're done dipping or pouring on your dip powder, you're going to finish that off by applying the pro base one more time and then dipping it into clear powder. But now instead of automatically doing that every time, I'll kind of just see what my nail looks like and see if it's needed. So the whole point of the clear powder is to protect your color when it comes to filing. So if I see that it looks pretty good already, then I won't even worry about that step. But if I get done and my nail looks like a blob and I have to do a lot of shaping and filing, then I will go ahead and apply that clear powder. So it kind of just depends how my nails turn out, but for this I got to skip that step, so I'm going to go right into the activator. With this, you really want to make sure you cover your nail completely because this is what makes the dip powder harden and get it ready for filing. So I'm not putting this on any particular way, you really can just slap it on however, and then you're going to let it sit for about a minute. And before I start buffing or filing anything, I always check to see if my nail is ready by tapping it with my hand or using a brush just to make sure it's hard enough. And then I'm just going to go in with my file and start at the free edge, just run that across and then anywhere else where it's needed. But again, because I skipped the clear coat, I'm not doing that much filing or buffing at all because I didn't want to take off that color. And I'm actually going to be showing you 2 different ways to finish off your dip nails. I finally tried out a new method and Oh my gosh, I can't believe I haven't tried it earlier, but it makes it so much easier, so I'll get to that in a second. But once you're done buffing, you're gonna go ahead and rinse your nails off with water, no soap, and then this is what your nail's looking like. So you're gonna grab the activator one more time and apply that to your nail. And this time I'm gonna let it sit for about 2 minutes and let it really soak into my nail. And then this is a huge step. You wanna take a lint-free wipe or a makeup sponge and wipe the nail clean, just to make sure you don't have any more activator on your nail, because this can really mess with the top coat. So if you find that your dip top coat is getting hard or kind of just like stringy looking, then this is probably why. Next, you're gonna grab your finish gel and we're gonna be applying 2 coats of this. So with the first coat, you want this one to be quick. You don't wanna go over it too many times, and this does not have to look perfect by any means. So I'm gonna apply that and then let it dry for probably about a minute, I would say. And then after that, you're gonna do a second coat, and this time you do wanna take your time. Really make sure you're covering your nail completely. And then you also want to cap the free edge of your nail, which you do by taking the brush and running it along the edge of your nail. If you have short nails, you can still do this, just clean up anything that gets on your skin. So once you do that, you wait a few minutes and your nail is completely dry. You do not need a lamp for this method, even though it says gel, which can definitely be confusing. So yeah, this is option 1. You know, it's a good method. This is the typical way to do dip nails, but this next way is so much better. I honestly don't think I'll be using the first method anymore. So again, you're gonna do the dipping just like before and apply your activator again. Make sure you cover your nail completely and then let that dry until it hardens. And once it does, you can start filing your nail. So before, I did use a file and then use a buffing block, which smooths out my nail. But this time I'm just gonna be using the nail file. You do have the option here to do the buffing block and then go over it with a nail file, but you wanna make sure you're ending with a nail file because it's gonna kind of rough up that surface so that you can use a normal gel top coat. And like I said, this has made this whole process so much easier because you don't have to do the activator again and you don't have to apply 2 coats of this. So all you have to do is apply 1 thin coat like you would when you normally use gel nail polish, and then you're gonna cure your nail for 60 seconds. So you will need a UV or LED lamp for this method, but I think it's so worth it because it just saves you so much time. So after that, whether you're doing this method or the first method I showed you, you can just finish off by using some cuticle oil and you are done. Also, one more thing with the gel method, if you're like me and you love a matte finish, then this gives you that option because you can just use a gel matte top coat. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, here is the final look. I think these turned out so cute. I can't wait to use some of the other colors. I was thinking, don't hold me to this, but I really want to do like some really long nails in a nude shade and make them matte like that. Oh, I might have to do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye.